Hello friends, today let's see about hormonal regulation of ovarian function. The production of hormones from the ovary is clearly pituitary dependent. Okay, now let's see about the production by how it is regulated. Mainly from hypothalamus. Hypothalamus produces GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormone, which stimulate the anterior pituitary to produce FSH and LH. This FSH and LH will go to the follicles of these oocytes, and they stimulate the production of estrogen and progesterone according to the menstrual cycle days. With this, one more hormone also produced called inhibin, which inhibit the production of both hormones when their level is increased. Now let's see how the first estrogen how produced, then how it's stopped, and then how progesterone produced. First, in the starting of menstruation cycle, at the start of oogonia development, follicular ovarian follicle development, first hypothalamus produces GnRH, which stimulate the anterior pituitary to produce FSH. That FSH will go to the maturing ovarian follicles, which stimulate the production of estrogen, which estrogen produced but in low amount. And also with this inhibin also produced. This inhibin will try due to the production of estrogen, this will inhibit the production of estrogen by stimulating the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus to inhibit the production of FSH and LH. With menstrual cycles, the Graafian follicle will developing also the estrogen production also will increase by due to the FSH production from the pituitary. Day by day it increases until 14th day of menstrual cycle. How means see, first mature follicles are small with single layer, then multiple layer. It little increases in the production of estrogen when it will develop to tertiary follicle. At that time, antral follicle, it's called antral follicle, which also produce hormone, but in it's also little low level. When this follicle is matured fully, it produces large threshold amount of estrogen. Due to this large amount of estrogen, then sudden stimulation of hypothalamus and pituitary by the inhibitor hormone to inhibit the production of estrogen. And also one more thing, LH, now LH function at the 14th day, after the 14th day, LH surge forms the anterior pituitary, which induce the ovulation, means burst of the follicle cell and release of ovary out of release of the oocyte from the secondary oocyte from the ovary. One more thing I forgot to tell. The estrogen produced by the cells, there is two types. One is from this antral fluid. In the antral fluid, these steroid hormones are produced, and in the theca interna. In the theca interna, androgen is produced by FSH stimulation, which that androgen from the theca interna, it goes to the into the follicular cells by the gap junctions, by some pathway. Then there, with the help of aromatase enzyme, which converts the androgen to estrogen. That's why you will call androgen as a precursor of estrogen. Now estrogen is produced from the follicle cells. Now let's see about LH. Due to LH surge, the ovulation occurred, then only left corpus luteum, means with theca interna, externa, and some follicular layers only left. Here corpus luteum undergo influence of LH, then it LH, due to the LH trigger, the production of progesterone will starts now. With the developing corpus luteum, it secretes large amount of progesterone till uh, another 14 days, like up to 28 days, until end of menstruation cycle. It produces more LH, and it will wait for the fertilization. Any sperm is coming to the oocyte to join, and it's preparing for the implantation and waiting. Waiting. If there is no um, fertilization, then the more level of progesterone in the corpus luteum will give signal to the uh, means inhibin. Automatically their inhibin is also produced. It stimulates the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus to inhibit the production of LH. Then LH inhibited by this, progesterone production stopped. If in case fertilization happened, then uh, how the hormone, progesterone production of hormone will be maintained. How means by that fertilized cell, HCG hormone will produce. That hormone will come to the corpus luteum, and it will stimulate to produce progesterone until the placenta formation, up to like 4 months, but not full whole up to baby birth, but it will help. Thank you.